In today's video, I'm going to be going over the 3 signs you're actually starting to lose your hair, and then the 3 things you can do to reverse hair loss that no one else is talking about. Starting with the first sign, you need to analyze whether you have a maturing hairline or actual hair loss. A receding hairline and a maturing hairline can have very similar features, but it is crucial for you to understand the difference between these two so that you can know whether or not you're losing your hair. A receding hairline has 4 traits, which are increased shedding, noticeable thinning of the hair, bald patches, and changes in your hair's texture. So if you've noticed an excessive amount of hair falling out while you're in the shower or brushing your hair seems way thinner around your crown, or if you've noticed any bald patches, then this means you could be losing your hair. While a maturing hairline, unlike hair loss, is a gradual recession of the hairline at the temples. This means you'll have a more prominent widow's peak or a slight V-shaped pattern along your hairline. But with a maturing hairline, that's when the recession stops. But if it starts to recede back even further, that means you probably have a receding hairline, which then means hair loss. Sign number 2 is to figure out what letter of hair loss you have. There are 5 different letters of hair loss. There's A, O, M, and OM. You need to know which one you have to know how to deal with it. I'm gonna pull up a chart that shows every type of hair loss you may be experiencing. Type A is when your hairline slowly starts to recede back, eventually until you're bald. Type O is when you start losing your hair from the crown, which then gives it that O shape, and over time that O will start to expand. Type N is when the corners of your hair will start to push back, giving your hairline that M shape. Then type OM is a combination of type O and M, meaning both that M shape and O shape are happening at the same time. Once you figured out what letter you are, make sure to keep that in mind, especially when I show you the last tip on how to reverse your hair loss immediately. Number 3 is to do the at-home pull test to see if you're losing your hair. First, start out by taking a small section of your hair and hold this hair firmly between your thumb and your index finger, about an inch or 2 away from the roots. Then apply slight pressure to the hair strand by pulling it away from the scalp. And don't pull too hard because you don't want to cause any discomfort or breakage. The goal of this is just to see how easily the hair comes out. So pay attention to how many strands of hair comes out. So now I want you to count how many hair strands came out, and keep in mind it's normal for you to lose a few hair strands, but now I want you to repeat that pull test in 2 different locations on your hair. And now that you've completed the pull test in 3 different locations, count the total amount of hairs you lost for all 3 locations, and if you count over 20 hairs, you may be experiencing excessive shedding, which is a very common sign of hair loss. Now, let's talk about how to reverse hair loss. Step number 1, don't take any of the popular hair loss medications. Whenever it comes to hair loss, the 2 most talked about medications are finasteride and minoxidil. Does finasteride and minoxidil work? Yes. Does that mean you won't experience any side effects when taking them? No. Minoxidil's been shown to have a lot less significant side effects than finasteride. The most common side effects from minoxidil are things like skin irritation, redness, and itchiness, while finasteride has been shown to have some pretty nasty side effects like decreased libido, depression, and anxiety. I personally don't want to take the risk of any of those side effects, so that's why I've started using this hair growth oil from the brand Argoat. This hair oil has an ingredient called rosemary, which has been scientifically proven to improve scalp health and strengthen your hair. Plus, if you're on TikTok, I'm sure you've seen this guy to help his hair loss. Okay, POV, you started using rosemary oil for your hair growth. Yeah, he's got a lot of thin hairs. I mean, just look at that. A huge difference. And my favorite part about this hair oil is that it has 0 side effects. So if you want to check it out, I'll have it linked down below. But moving on to step number 2, grow new hair by using the right needle. Doing a process called microneedling or derma rolling can help revive your scalp and hair follicles. Microneedling creates small little entry points known as micro wounds across your scalp with the use of needles. However, you need to make sure you're using the right needles for your hair. The DermaRoller needles can range from 0.10 to 3.0 millimeters, and any DermaRoller under 0.25 millimeters won't penetrate deep enough for you to see any hair growth, while any DermaRoller over 1 millimeter can cause bleeding, infections, and even damage to the hair follicle roots. So the best needle length for hair growth is 0.25 to 1 millimeter, and the brand Argo also has a DermaRoller that is between that range. And if you get their hair growth kit, you can get the DermaRoller and the hair oil we talked about in the last tip, plus a scalp massager and an eyebrow/beard wand. So if you do want to check out that full kit, I'll have that link down below as well. Step number 3, immediately cover up hair loss using this spray. So, like I promised, I'm gonna show you how to instantly make it look like you never even started losing your hair in the first place. Okay, so now on to what I've been hyping up all video. We have the Argo hair fiber kit. So if you're like me, I'm kind of thinning up here in the corner of my scalp, and you can kind of see a line of my scalp. And if you notice any sort of thinning in your hair, this hair fiber spray from Argo will do the trick. So right here, you can probably see my scalp. I don't like that. I want to get rid of it. So all I have to do is just spray this into my hair. And just like that, it is gone. I mean, look at this. I got a full head of hair. Also, my hairline's a little bit jacked up. I got a little bit of receding right here, it looks like. So I'm now gonna grab this. And what this does is this will make your hairline look more natural when you do spray it on. So it doesn't look like you just sprayed it on. So I'll put this right about here and then spray. And then boom, it is all fixed up. It's super straight now. And if I wanted to, I could do the other side. And then, oh my gosh, guys, like look at this. My hairline is super straight now. But we're not done. For the final step, we have the hair fiber hold spray. And what this will do is make sure that that hair fiber we just sprayed in will stay. Couple sprays on this side. And this will really just lock it in for the rest of the day. So if you start sweating or if it gets super windy, that hair fiber will stay in your hair thanks to this spray. So in this video, I showed you how to figure out whether or not you're actually losing your hair, and then the 3 ways to reverse your hair loss that no one else is talking about. And if you follow everything I told you, you now know exactly what to do to defeat hair loss.